Well, stop me if you heard this one before. Actually, don't stop me because I know you have if you've watched this channel before. The Jackets lose a game despite them having a lead. This time it was a 5-4 loss in Detroit against the Red Wings. The Blue Jackets now have one win in their last 9 games. They're at the bottom of the Metro, and now they're just making lineup and roster moves that don't make a whole lot of sense in terms of icing the best hockey team you have available to you. So Patrick Laine came off of IR and he's inserted to the lineup. That makes sense. David Jiricek was sent down to make room for that. More on that in a bit. Emil Bemstrom coming in for Yegor Chinikov, and Adam Boqvist in for Jake Bean. So we get a third pairing of Adam Boqvist and Andrew Peeke. That does not look good on paper, and it did not look good on the ice in this one as well, especially when you consider that Adam Boqvist is playing on his offside. Usually he's slotted in as a defenseman on the right. This time he's a defenseman on the left, and in the limited time we've seen that this season, it hasn't gone very well. I guess the thought is that they're playing to show off some of their skills for the scouts that were in attendance for this game in an effort to get them traded. I know before the season, the Jackets were rumored to really want somebody like Jake Bean or Adam Boqvist or Andrew Peeke gone and traded, so get some of those guys some ice time, but their play, especially in this game, did not necessarily help raise their value. And also, David Jiricek has been legitimately a top 4 defenseman on this roster, so hopefully his stint in Cleveland is a short one. I also don't really understand scratching Yegor Chinikov for Emil Bemstrom. I don't think Emil Bemstrom's a bad option, but Chinikov just kind of plays in that similar role, and I think he has a better shot and a little more upside, so I would have just left Chinikov in there, but I guess that's neither here nor there. Then you have Johnny Gaudreau. This was another game where he's just kind of floating out there. Again, like I said a couple of games ago, I do sincerely hope that there's nothing crazy off the ice going on with Johnny Gaudreau that's impacting his play, but at this point he has been a bit detrimental, especially considering the crazy amount of ice time he's getting. I guess the Jackets saw that benching him didn't really do much, so now they're hoping that if they just play him a minute, if they just give him big minutes, eventually something will click with that top line. The power play, that it did have some more life to it with Patrick Laine back in the lineup there, and the goal he scored late was just after a power play ended, so it's technically not a power play goal, but for all intents and purposes, it might as well have been. It was kind of, the ice was 5-on-4. It just so happens that power play had just expired. But the Jackets came out in the first period definitely looking sleepy. Detroit all over them, getting out to a 2-0 lead early in this one, with Lucas Raymond fooling Martin on a nice fake wraparound, fooling Martin there, and Fabry getting a wide open attempt from the slot. But just kind of like how Dallas responded to a 2-0 deficit in the last game, the Jackets get a quick response goal from Texier on a breakaway, and then Adam Fantilli tying the game back in the same state where he played college with Michigan. I know he was there to do an honorary puck drop at the Michigan and Minnesota game, so I'm sure that felt nice for Adam Fantilli to get some good results back in Michigan and Detroit there against the Red Wings. Columbus even taking a lead in the second period with Sean Kuraly springing himself on a little breakaway after an outlet pass from Zach Werenski, beating Husso to make it 3-2 for the Blue Jackets. But this team just cannot play with a lead. There needs to be some kind of like hologram technology to make the score look different than it is, so like the Jackets will always think that they're playing either down 1 or 2 goals to keep them on their toes. But late in the second period, things started to fall off for Columbus. Alex DeBrincat left wide open in the right circle. His wrister beat Spencer Martin. Then a cross-ice pass attempt at the blue line by Sean Kuraly went pretty poorly, and it would be Sprong making it 4-3 on an open shot from his part. And then the Jackets, subject to a bad bounce early in the third period, Wallman's shot deflects off of a Jacket skate, then off the boards behind the net, and then off of a sprawling Spencer Martin and into the net, 5-3. So just Detroit really taking advantage of their opportunities. DeBrincat with his rocket shot to tie the game. Dylan Sprong with a nice attempt to beat Spencer Martin, and then just some bad puck luck for the Jackets to make it 5-3. But when you're all over them, like Detroit was in moments, you kind of invite bad luck on yourself. But before all hope can be lost, Patrick Laine would score the goal that I mentioned earlier with about 8 minutes, 30 seconds left in the game. So definitely plenty of time to have gotten another goal in, but they just can't force overtime. Like I said, I wish this team always played like they had nothing to lose when they're down or they get in a big hole early. We saw it in this game against Detroit now, and a couple of games ago against Florida when they went down 3-0 early. This team does have the ability to respond and play like their hair's on fire, but you can definitely tell when they feel the pressure of a lead when that's getting to them. The penalty kill for the Jackets, they've been great though. They're a top 5 unit in the NHL right now. It's just, it's too bad they don't award standings points for just having a good penalty kill. You need more than that. You have to score more goals than the other team, and the Jackets are having a bit of an issue doing that. Kent Johnson recently had a 2-goal performance in Cleveland for the Monsters, so maybe both him and David Jiricek, they can get back in the lineup, and maybe those two players solidifies things a little bit, puts them over the edge of actually being able to close out a game and just simply get a win when they establish a lead. That's not something that I think is a crazy hard task or an ask of the Jackets to do, but we'll see how they react in the upcoming games. That's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you did make it this far, let me know what you thought about this game and how the Jackets could respond down in the comment section below. They've had a few games like this now. You feel like they could have tried to make some things work, but the lineups and how things are going out, just not going Columbus's way right now. If you're a team like Detroit, who is on a bit of a cold stretch themselves, looks like the Jackets are just what the doctor ordered. But once again, thank you for watching. Leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed it and you'd like to see more like it, and I will see you at the next one.